Hey folks, how's it going? We're back with the Carl versus Steve insults, man. So this is part 2 of a I don't know how many part series. We're doing about 10 to 15 minute increments because this is so long, and I'm going to find a natural break to stop. Then also, guys, I appreciate everybody who's subscribed so far. We were at 15% of people subscribing. Now we moved it to 28%. So that's super awesome. But we still have a long way to go. So if you enjoy this video, I appreciate if you haven't subscribed. If you do subscribe, and if you don't like it and you don't subscribe, that's cool. I just appreciate you sticking around and watching. And maybe I'll earn your subscription with like the next video I do, or some of my older videos if you go through the library of like 800 videos that we're at now. So yeah, man, let's go ahead and jump into this, man, and enjoy some more Carl versus Steve.
So, a few more shows. And I hope Sony are happy. They should encourage, you know, we've only been radio, you know, a couple of years.
Exactly. They should encourage young talent like you.
Yeah. Instead of giving it to Radio 1 and Radio 2 and...
The old war horses. We just had a quick email. I wonder if you could answer this. It's James from NWM. He says, Ricky, is Carl going to be on this week's show? Please let me know, as I may listen if he's not. Sadly, he is here. I mean, people are already turning against you, Carl, because they've seen what's happened.
Yeah.
I think they've probably realised that
I think we gave you too much. I think, exactly, I think we've got a spoiled sort of kid in our hands. It's sort of like, you know, we knew how bad he was, but we were trying to sort of bring him out of his shell a little bit.
Yeah.
You got to encourage sort of, children like Carl.
Well, yeah, exactly.
To sort of fend for themselves. I like the fact that Dickie Anderson had that wonderful rant. I mean, it was an articulate email. It was quite long, and he must have typed it immediately. I'm thinking, because he's a fan of the show and he thinks I'm a genius, we need a PA.
Sure.
Don't we?
Yeah, yeah.
Do you reckon he'd come and work for us?
Well, he can't be any worse than what we've already got.
I know.
You know.
So, there you go then, we're giving up radio. We're going to concentrate on television. Carl's going to probably go back to what, your little... just doing your sound?
The thing I won a silver for at the Sonys. Funny that, isn't it?
Oh, you won a silver, did you?
I got a silver, yeah.
Oh, yeah, what was that for?
Doing the proper job that I do here in the week.
Well, no, it's 2 of you for a start.
Yeah. Well, there's 3 of us. Couldn't even get a bronze. Now, who's the weak link? Right?
Well...
Bit weird, isn't
Let's
it?
not argue. We haven't got many shows to do.
To be fair, though, this show is I think it's more to do with the fact that you talk on this show that has brought us down.
Right, I haven't said anything hardly today.
No, well, this is an award-winning show, potentially.
We'll add this one into next year.
If you could just keep stum, we might have a chance.
Alright.
Well, coming up, right?
Let's put it behind us.
Okay.
Let's draw a line under it.
Stephen co-wrote and directed The Office and Extras with me. You may have seen him in Extras as the agent. You may have seen him briefly in The Office. He is a goggle-eyed freak.
Are you referring to the character there, are you? Or?
Yeah, whatever.
Thanks.
No,
it's just a little inconvenient.
I'm just trying to paint a picture for people at Christmas.
Sure.
Steve.
Yeah. I wouldn't say goggle-eyed. I think goggle-eyed freak's harsh. You know, these are these are designer specs. And, yeah, admittedly, I'm a little bit tall, but,
6'7".
Yeah, but let's not have a go at that.
Carl,
You're tall, dude.
we've got more like later. I think we should play a record. We've done introductions.
Pop a little song on.
But do you remember the first time we saw Steve?
Well, let's pop a little song on that, alright? Chat about it in a bit.
Alright. Bruce Springsteen. Bit of Bruce Springsteen. Now, it's difficult to describe Carl. I just think you'll have to get to know him over the next, 2 hours. But, we have, taken the liberty of getting some stuff ready for you if you want to find out more about him. If you go to rickygervais.com, we've put up a special little page. Go into Who's Carl, we've got a little biography up of him, and loads of pictures, and you have never seen a head rounder than... He looks like Mr. Spoon from Button Moon.
Yes.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Or Bod.
Bod is almost like
There's a little bit of Charlie Brown in there. He's even got a little striped shirt. It's perfectly rounded. It's balding, and it's not a sort of like a good balding. It's sort of like, he looks like a worn tennis ball. Do you know what I mean? He's got a little bit of growth.
It's not that sort of Telly Savalas cool bald.
No. It's just a scruffy little, I don't know what it is.
Happy Christmas and that.
What do you think of that then, Carl? Your introduction to the nation?
Well, you know, if we're gonna start picking on looks and stuff, like you mentioned before, we can go over everyone in this room.
What?
I mean, let's make it fair.
What?
Let's have a chat about Steve over there.
What are you talking about?
Well, you know how sort of I felt when I first saw you.
Right, don't go mad, Steve. Let Carl speak. Right, this is his platform.
No, I'm just saying you just said about painting a picture.
Yeah, go on then.
I wouldn't paint a picture of that. No, I'm not, Steve, you know I'm not having a go, mate.
What do you mean you're not having a go? It sounds like you're having a go.
No.
Well, what did you think when you first saw him, when he first walked into that room all those years ago?
Sort of thought he looked like a cartoon. No, Steve, you know that you look a little bit odd. This isn't like a shock to you. You've had this. How old are you now?
31,
Right,
but I
so
don't
you're 30. What do you look like as a baby? I mean,
Why is this a character assassination?
no, I'm not having a go. I'm just saying what it was like. Now, I'm used to you now. When I see you, I don't sort of double take anymore.
He's coming out with this.
No, but you know, when you popped in and that, it was just a bit of a shock, and now I've got used to it and that.
Good, you're happy now. You can cope now.
Hold on. You were shocked when you saw Steve Merchant. You told me once you went to school with two fellas who had big heads and webbed hands and feet.
Yeah.
And they weren't related. Why were there two people like that at your school, and yet you find Steve freaky?
You never said freaky. You said freaky. You said freaky.
Carl, it was you that worked out the maths and worked out I was 28, because they just worked out I'm 27.
You are 27.
No way.
Yeah, I asked you, didn't I? And I said...
But what I sort of questioned was, I said, well, if you're 27 today, that means last week you were 26.
Well done, yeah. That's irrelevant. So therefore you assumed that I must be 28 then?
Yeah.
Whereas I assumed you were using, your knowledge of maths, such as it is.
I wouldn't do that.
No, sure.
Wow. I actually got lost in that conversation because I genuinely didn't know what he meant would mean last week you were 26. I don't know what that meant.
I don't know what it meant.
Wow. Well, it is Steve's birthday.
It would have been 26 last week.
Sometimes you genuinely frighten me because it's those staring eyes. There's nothing behind him. It's this little bald head. Looks like Davros looking at me. Genuine fear on his face when he enters into a conversation with another human being.
What bit don't you understand? If he's 27 today, he would have been 26 last week, and he doesn't look 26. He didn't look 26 last week. He looks older than 28 today.
You've started on his birthday. You're still having a go at him.
Carl, I don't look like the kind of hot stud that I actually am, but face facts, that's the truth, mate.
Yeah, live with it.
Get with the programme, jeez.
Carl, I don't want to. I'm not stirring it, right? You started a little bit of a war with Steve.
You are stirring it.
Well, no.
This is stirring right now. This is the terminology.
But do you know that the fellas in your school, the big heads and webbed feet and webbed hands?
Webbed hands. Yeah.
But they hung around together, did they?
I'll let the see.
I don't think they did.
And they were nothing to do with each other.
No, I think people expected them to sort of knock about together, but they must have thought, oh, that'd be too obvious. You know what I mean?
But where did you live? Near a power plant? Well, I mean, why did you have?
I don't think it had anything to do with that though. Just sometimes you get a little. Look at Steve. He didn't live near a power plant. No.
Listen, can I just stop you there, right? Let me just stop you there, because it always happens, as soon as it's supposed to be a nice day, and suddenly you're having a go, right? Now, this got sent on the email, okay? Now, this is not me saying this is someone who's forwarded a review that was put on the web. It was a review of your appearance on one of Ricky's stand-up comedy DVDs, okay? I'm quoting this is not me saying it. It says that, Carl, through a combination of his intriguing way of thinking and slightly less than human appearance, right, Carl may just be the proof needed to muffle the cries of creationists the world over, as this missing link demonstrates that not only did man evolve from apes, but the process isn't quite finished yet. Okay, now that's someone else, an external person's opinion of you.
But
the
terrible thing about that is, Carl's feelings aren't hurt because he didn't understand a word of that.
I said the word creationist, that lost him.
That lost it. You've got to remember that Carl, you know when people say they're talking to their cat and they go, oh look at him looking at us, it's like he can understand what we're saying. Well, Carl's got that look, but you know he can't understand what you're saying. All right, Carl?
No, but I mean, now we're talking about your head and that, right? When you go back to, say, your mum and dad, it's Christmas time, right? There's a lot of people travelling up and down the country, going back, seeing their mum and dad, they probably haven't seen them all year, right? When you go back, is it a shock to them again? No, do you know, like, how you get used to how someone, like I say, I'm used to you, I see you a few times a week, I don't do the double take. But what I mean is, when you go back, do they sort of go, oh, here he is. You know what I mean?
Oh, damn.
Play a record,
let's leave it then,
let's move on then, because I'm gonna get angry, and we haven't even got, it's not even 25 past yet.
Christmas!
A little bit of Simon and Garfunkel.
Yeah, oh, this is beautiful.
I'm gonna get angry again.
So, what have you been doing this week, Steve?
Well, I'll tell you what, at the beginning of the week I was, incredibly annoyed by Carl.
Why?
No, because I remember you had a little discussion with Carl a while back saying that, you thought he was lazy at times.
Yeah.
And, you know, you had various criticisms of his work.
Yeah.
And I got a call from him. He said, "Oh yeah, I should have told you. I had a phone call. Someone said that they were trying to get hold of Steve Merchant to offer him some lucrative voiceover work. Now you know
That is money for old
It's money for old rope.
That's you're in there for about 20 minutes and it's thousands of
If there
pounds.
are children listening who are still at school, they should definitely, when the careers guy says, "What do you want to do?" Try and get voiceover work. Just become a voiceover artist. It's money for old rope.
Yeah.
So I can't believe my luck, because, you know, I love money for old rope.
Yeah.
And, I said, well, what's the information? He said, I don't know. I deleted the message. It was on his answer, and he deleted the message. I said, right, when did the message come? He said, last week. So he took a week to tell me that he had deleted the message.
Why, just 'cause it wasn't for you?
Come on,
I mean,
Carl.
I don't know how selfish that is, Carl.
No, what happened is, right, I got back off holiday. I was at home,
Yeah.
so I called up my voicemail,
Yeah.
right, because I can do that.
Yeah.
Remote access, right, because I've
Brilliant.
got to know what's going on at work.
Of course.
Called in, it was still my day off, I was going through the messages.
Yes.
Heard one from some company saying, we're after Steve Merchant,
Yeah.
we want him to do some voiceover work.
Yeah.
Right? I can't remember the name of it, but
Thanks.
I thought, right, I'll remember to tell Steve.
A week later.
It doesn't matter, does it? You still got the message, and they
What message?
Yeah, but voiceovers have to be done in the next
But
couple
I
of
didn't get the
days.
message. All I got was, there was a company, I don't remember the name, and they phoned you, they wanted voiceover work. Well, how does that help me? There are hundreds of thousands of media companies.
I
You
was
didn't take
more-
down a number, you didn't take down a name, nothing.
I was more
It is kinda
puzzled
messed
why
up.
they'd want you to voice anything.
I don't know why.
But listen to that voice.
You must be annoyed. You must be
You know
annoyed.
what? I mean, talk about rubbing salt into the wound.
No, but listen to you.
Damn, dude.
I don't know how you think. I don't know how your mind works.
Well, I was thinking there must be a tractor sale on somewhere.
What do I care? No, hang on a minute. Wait a minute.
Over him.
Wait a minute.
What is
I don't care if they want me to advertise, you know, the latest designs in pirate fashion wear. I will do a voiceover because it's money for old rope. I don't care what you think of my voice. Someone was interested. They were offering me money. And you decided arbitrarily, oh, they probably wouldn't want it. They probably made a mistake. They wouldn't like the way he talks anyway. I'll delete the message.
No, the thing is, right,
What if that had been a girl?
I get paid to sit here on a Saturday,
Yeah.
right? Play CDs and that, help out with the show, get you decent prizes. I think I do me bit,
Sure.
right? It isn't about running your voiceover work.
So hang on, so Carl, let me just get this right. If someone was ever to phone me, right, trying to get in touch with you, to offer you work, you'd want me to just ignore the message. That is what you're saying to me. You'd prefer that I deleted the message, I ignored it altogether. That's what you'd want for me to do. That's what you want me to do.
What, someone's calling you for some
Someone's
more
phoned me, they say, oh, I can't, I don't know, I'm a friend of a friend, I've got your number, Steve, I would love to use Carl Pilkington for an
Well, you've never
exciting
called me,
sex
so has
scene.
it happened?
Well,
Has it
well,
happened?
that's what I'm saying, in the future, if it was to occur, do you want me to just ignore it? Is that what you prefer me to do?
Well, it's not like that, though. I did tell you, I told you the message.
You didn't what? You told me a week later with none of the information I needed.
Carl, that doctor called last week. That kidney's ready for that, little girl that you were doing that sponsored walk for. I forgot to tell you. Oh. I hope it's still alright. They keep it on ice, don't they? I think they do.
Selfish, Carl. So selfish. And you lost us a stone.
Alright, so you're gonna end it there. That was a nice spot to end it. So I don't know how long the next one is gonna be. That was good. I don't think it was good as the first segment I watched though, but this segment was decent. I think there might be some meaning behind that whole. I think there must have been a tractor sale or something going on. Because I thought maybe he just, like, you know, sometimes Carl will just spout out some random stuff. That's why I thought it was funny. But maybe I think this might mean something. That might be like a phrase that's used over there. If that's a phrase used in the UK, let me know, guys. Because I'm going to look it up, too. But I just laugh because, like, you know, sometimes Carl just says some random stuff that doesn't make sense. But I think this might be one of those things where this actually means something. Like it's like a jab at somebody or something, you know? Yeah. So I got to look that up. But that was kind of selfish of him, man. Not to like give like him the voicemail when it came to like the paid work, but also I get what Carl is saying, like why they're reaching through to him to get Steve paid work, like go through the proper channels. But nevertheless, he probably should have like shared the voicemail and like let Steve know. Yeah. But overall, this was funny, but I don't think it was as funny as the first 15-minute segment. You know, I enjoyed the first one a bit more. I think it just had more I think that maybe the jokes popped up sooner, and this one kind of seemed to have like a lot of conversation leading up to the jokes, which like I don't mind, but like some of it just didn't really feel didn't really feel like some of it was even tied to like the the joke itself, especially the very first one. But overall, good. I mean, I don't expect to laugh hysterically through the entire thing, because a lot of the stuff is like that, where it's just like this long, like, conversation, and then like a joke hits. But some of it feel like it could have just been like left out a little bit. But not complaining, because somebody went through work to edit this. They broke it down by chapters, and they put the title right on the screen each time they go through each segment, which is well done. Kudos for that. I said this before. Whoever did this did a great job and put care into it. Look, he even put all the timestamps below it where you can click on those segments to get back to it. So great job on that. But I'm gonna, like I said, I'm gonna still be honest, and I like the first segment more. The joke's better. It's not a knock on the editing. It's just I just like to have the jokes hit a little better. Overall, good. I enjoyed this. I definitely look forward to listening more and getting through the entire thing. We have 26 minutes down. So what's that? About an hour and 15 minutes left, or an hour and 17 minutes left, something like that. So, yeah. And to continue to break these down, find natural points to kind of like, cut it off, and then continue from there. Alright guys, I definitely appreciate you guys watching. If you liked this video, make sure you subscribe. If you didn't, that is cool. I appreciate you watching it this far, because everything helps. Every like, every share, everything helps. And maybe I'll earn your subscription in the next video. So hopefully you guys are happy, safe, and healthy. And I'll see you in the next one. Later.